and that is not just an odor. That's actually an infection.
Excuse me?
That's an infection.
I don't.
Who here is attending the funeral of the lady who went to go and get the Brazilian wax, but the wax lady packed up all of her stuff and she refused to do it?
Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. My name is Princess Vanigo. You're welcome to Bunny Talks. So in today's video, we're talking about this lady who went to get a coochie waxed, and then the person who was doing the waxing made it known to her that, girl, your coochie is not giving yummy smells. Your coochie is not clean. Your coochie is oozing. This lady, what she felt like doing was bringing out her phone and recording herself. Now, she recorded herself or recorded the woman in question, and the woman was not holding any bags, letting her know that your coochie is not giving. Your coochie smells horribly. Anyway, guys, I don't want to say too much. Let's go watch this video, and I'll be back with my thoughts.
Why are you putting this stuff away?
Ma'am, I feel like you're putting me in a position where I have to continuously tell you that that's an issue that you have. This is beyond going to the gym.
No, I just came from the gym. I'm trying to get my wax. I have vacation. My flight leaves tonight. And I need my wax done. And now you're telling me that you can't do my wax because of a funky issue. It's crazy because I've gone to other places. I've gone to European Wax Center and they don't have an issue. The phone's going off. This is so unprofessional.
I do apologize.
This is so unprofessional.
However, that is beyond. I don't know what. Maybe European Wax Center is a little bit more equipped than we are. However, I don't feel comfortable. I'm actually a CNA as well, and that is not just an odor. That's actually an infection.
Excuse me?
That's an infection.
I don't have an infection.
And I don't feel comfortable touching you in that area.
I told you I just went to the gym. I just went to the gym.
Man, that's not the gym. That's not the gym, ma'am. I go to the gym. That's not the gym. That's not the gym.
You don't go to the gym.
This is a very uncomfortable conversation for me. I'm not your primary
You don't go to the gym. I can tell by your body type.
Excuse me. I am not going to accept insults from you because I'm not insulting you.
You haven't seen a gym.
Excuse me.
So
you are embarrassed now.
So you wouldn't
You're
know
going to try to put me down.
You wouldn't know what an odor from the gym smells like if you don't go to the gym.
You are completely. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. We cannot provide a service for you.
It's too late for me to book last minute anywhere else. Everybody else is booked. I got this off a Groupon.
Ma'am, you need to go to the doctors. This has nothing to do. I don't even know why. You should not get on that flight.
This is crazy.
This is embarrassing. I hope you're not going to the man.
This place is embarrassing. You got this bum Easter grass. Look at this place. Look at this place. No, look at this place. Look at this place. I'm going to show Groupon. Don't touch me. Don't you?
Poop butt, you bathe before you get a Brazilian wax? You can scroll. For those of you who are not sure if you have body odor or you are offending your Brazilian waxer, let's get into it. This esthetician says, once I got a client doing a full body and she had green discharge. I had to leave the room because I couldn't hold my breath anymore because of the smell. Here's things that are very subtle that we will do as a Brazilian waxer. Number one, we will wear something under our nose. It'll be Vicks Vapor Rub. It'll be essential oils. It'll be something in a balm. We'll put it right underneath our nose. You won't even know. We actually learn how to do mouth breathing so we don't breathe through our nose, so we have no scent coming in there and changing how our facial will change when that scent becomes offensive. My number one go-to for stinky feet was to put an essential oil-based towel over your feet, especially a warm towel, and let it sit there the entire service because your feet smell. Another thing that I would also do is I would have a fan blowing on you to blow your body odor away from me and towards you so that you would be able to smell what I'm smelling, all while still breathing out of my mouth. Another thing that I have is my amazing Funk Buster. Funk Buster cuts all funk. It actually is my number one product during spring and summer, specifically for Brazilian waxers or anybody who's in the waxing space who wants to cut offensive odors, or we don't want the next client to smell the last client. That lemongrass Funk Buster will cut it. It'll smell brand spanking new, and that's how we get through offensive odors. But learning how to not breathe through our nose is something that we learn over time, but it'll save us in the long run. Because if this type of thing happens or you have a weak stomach, you're not going to make it.
Don't go to the gym. I can tell by your body type.
Excuse me. I am not going to accept insults from you
You couldn't waterboard that information out of me. The way I would have prayed that the ground would open up and swallow me whole before I jumped on the World Wide Web to tell everybody that my hoo-ha was questionable? No, ma'am. People are so interested in trying to get a viral moment that you don't realize the person that you're shaming may actually be you. Instead of you doing what most people would do, which is hang their head in shame, gather up their things and whatever dignity they still have on that table and scurry out of there. She handled you with all the professionalism that she possibly could muster up, but you can't force her to work on you when she told you she's uncomfortable. She wasn't being rude, you were being rude for pulling out your camera and trying to intimidate her. She was actually being a girl's girl and giving you the heads up that you may have an active infection rather than you saying, you know what, you're a nurse, let me look into that. You'd rather say, I don't care what's going on, just do my wax. She does this for a living, so I know she's handled different scents before, but there is a reason why she's rejecting you. I'm sure she would have given you a full refund, so it's not about the money. Maybe there's some truth to what she's saying. Have you ever considered that?
I've just reposted a video, right? So when I've done this video, is the last repost I just did, right? The girl went for a Brazilian wax, and the waxer started putting the tools away, and the woman's like, "What you doing?" And the girl is like, "Girl, I've been done telling you for the last couple of times you've been coming here that smell is not from the gym, honey. That smell coming from your hoo-ha is you need to go and get like antibiotics." And the woman's like, "No, it's not. I've just come from the gym." I would emigrate.
Like you're putting me in a position where I have to continuously tell you that
if I get tagged in this video, if another client sends me this video about Dre, what would you do? I'm going to scream. And I'm like, have I ever been in a situation like that where a person smelled so horribly that I possibly want to discontinue the service? No. In my texts that my clients get before a wax, I always let them know to please come clean, come exfoliated, and come hydrated. Please come clean. Because I will stop the service if I feel like something is just out of the ordinary. But for a client to come to a wax appointment, especially a Brazilian appointment, straight from the gym, what you thinking? You think we want to smell that funk, whatever you gave on a treadmill for the past hour? Y'all think we want to smell that in the treatment room? Gyms do have showers. Go ahead and bring you a little washcloth, bring you a little some foam wash, and hit that a couple times. I personally, I do keep warm towels in my towel warmer. I do place a warm towel just on before, I'm cleaning everything out before the service, just to also help open the pores. But please come clean to an appointment. And an esthetician has a right to refuse service. It's their business at the end of the day. So if that woman couldn't stand to smell the putridness of whatever that lady bought in her treatment room, I can't knock her for that. I can't knock her for that. Hygiene is everything. But I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to do a service. Baby, I'm not going to smell you for that long anyway. Hop on this bed. Give me about 10, 15 minutes. Let me snatch that wax off that cat. Let you get to your vacation. And you're going to take that smell with you. You ain't going to stay with me here. Because I'm about to sanitize, spray some room spray. That's not staying with me. That's your problem, not mine. Not mine at all. But clean yourselves. Women sometimes come with odors. A woman might be, on her period. For those who wax on periods, some women suffer from BV, and that carries an odor. So, but that was rude of that woman to come like that. I ain't even gonna hold you. For her to come smelling like that without, yes, I came straight from the gym. I've been to the European wax, and what's that got to do with me? You in my establishment now. I'm gonna hand you a cloth. The restroom's right around here. Go ahead and clean yourself up. Give yourself about 3 to 5 minutes, and I'll be here waiting for you. But that was wild. I don't know if that was a skit or whatever, but over here, I don't really go through, knock on wood. I've not yet had a client come to me to the point where the smell was so bad I had to be like, nah, baby, Dre can't do it. I'm gonna double mask up, triple mask if I have to, and I'm gonna get that cash. Run me that $75 for 10 minutes. Take your funky ass home and wash that ass.
I'm starting to wonder if hygiene is clearly subjective amongst individuals. I've seen more TMI issues on this app than anything in my entire life. Obviously, you have complete autonomy over your body, so you can do whatever it is that you choose to do as far as keeping it clean or lack thereof. However, the individual that decided to go to the wax place before heading out of town or preparing to travel and decided she was going to go to get a wax after leaving the gym and proceeds to record the business owner and put her on blast for not wanting or denying the wax. Now, after watching the full video a few times, a couple of things that I observed. Not that I am an expert, I am not an esthetician or any of that. But you know, getting a wax down there or in your nether regions is already such a private yet uncomfortable thing. But if you are a woman that does it, it must be done, uncomfortable or not, right? And the last thing we want to do is make the person that is actually completing the wax uncomfortable. And one way that you can make that individual uncomfortable is coming to your appointment completely dirty with an odor. Now, I know that each wax studio has their own rules about how hygienic you need to be prior to your appointment and also post hygienic tips as well. But for a business owner to have to argue with you about the fact that the smell that is coming from your nether region is not a smell of sweat and gym activity, but more so a smell of infection, and because you were probably embarrassed by it, you decided to turn on your camera, just is complete utter chaos. And I can tell that you're delulu, okay? Because you could not pay me to show the world someone giving me that information about my nether regions. Now, growing up, and this could be a Southern thing, it could be a Black thing, I don't know. I won't say. I just know growing up, my mother used to always say that you can smell yourself before anyone else smells you. So I'm inclined to believe that you knew exactly what you smelled like when you left the gym. When you got to the wax studio and you decided to remove your clothes, you smelled it then as well. And you decided that because it is a wax studio, and as you explained, other wax places have done that for you and did not have an issue with you coming straight from the gym, you just automatically assumed that the business owner was just like any other wax place and would proceed with caution. She did, in fact, proceed with caution with not proceeding at all. And I do not blame her. No one wants to smell you down there. It's one thing to have the normal vaginal odor. It's another thing to have something that she describes as infection. And we as women, we know what that means. And for you to be so offended by it that you decide to record the interaction after that has been said, and you start to accuse her of lying about the fact that she can't do the wax. In fact, you even insult her saying, I go to the gym. I know you don't go to the gym. Look at you. You don't look like you go to the gym. I don't know if that was your way of getting back at her for saying you have a ungodly odor down there that is not the typical odor, or if more so you truly were just angry and did not understand why she decided to not proceed with your wax. Ma'am, please stop playing with people's businesses, okay? That is that person's livelihood. That is how they make their money. That is how they take care of their family. This is quite simple. Just go and take a bath prior to going to get a wax. Do not go to the wax place right after the gym. One thing I've realized on this app, especially after a couple of videos that I've seen of people who got put out of a gym, lost their gym membership because they have a terrible BO, please don't be that person. I waited for a few days hoping you would just remove that video before it went haywire and people stitched and did all of these things, and that you had time to reflect on how you truly acted when the business owner truly was looking out for herself, for her business, for her reputation, etc. And you made it all about you simply because you decided that you did not want to respect her enough to not come in that studio with a odor. Yeah, no. If hygiene is subjective amongst us, I hope the subject is soap and water. Seriously.
The last time I got a Brazilian wax was in Jamaica. So I used to have a lady in New Kingston that would do my waxing. And I had to build up a good rapport with that lady before it reached to her doing the Brazilian waxing thing, you know, going into your private parts. It had to be a good relationship, because I couldn't fathom just letting anybody just go into that part of my nether regions. Anyway, since I've migrated to Canada, I haven't had anybody wax me in that way. It may be a bikini wax or, you know, whatever, but I'm not going there. I'm sorry. But if I did go there and a lady says, or the person who's doing the waxing, the esthetician, whatever they call them, says, listen, I can't do this. I can't do this with you. There's a smell and I can't do this. What makes me think that it's okay to take up a camera, video this lady that says that there's a smell, whether or not she's telling the truth? Why would I want to publish that out there? And then I'm arguing with this lady to say, hey, I need you to come down here even though you perceive that there's a smell. So for some full context, I feel like people are oblivious to certain smell. My son has taught me that. Because I will go into my son's room, and for some strange reason, these teenage boys, their room have a certain smell. Now, I'm the kind of person that my nose is extra sensitive. I love candles. I love when a place smells good. You know, if I pass you, I can smell you. I smell myself. I make sure that I know my own scent, and I'm very, very acute to, you know, if I have scent that might be offensive to others. So, but my son is on the opposite side of the spectrum. He doesn't notice smells. He doesn't. His stinking shoes, his socks. He's like, why are you acting like that, Mom? What do you mean you smell it? I don't smell nothing. He never smelled the stinking scents. So I know that there are people who are oblivious to their own body scents. And you know what? After a while of you being in, you know, you've been used to that smell, it's like it's almost the norm to you. So you won't smell it yourself. But if I'm going to a service provider, especially a service provider that is going to down to my nether regions, and the person says, I can't do this, you have a smell, my embarrassment would take me up out of there. And I don't even want the fly on the wall to hear that comment. You hear me? Not even the fly on the wall I want to hear. So why would you video it and put it on TikTok? I passed this whole conversation going on for the whole week about the lady who says she went to get her Brazilian wax, and the waxer didn't want to do it because the waxer said that she has a smell, and she videoed it when she went off on the lady. Listen to me, get yourself out of there. Get yourself out of there. Go get some mirror or something to remove, some skin tonight, something to remove your extra ear and avoid the embarrassment. Unless this is another rage baiting video, but I, for the life of me, can't understand. Why would you do something like that? Why would you know that you're having this? It's a sensitive conversation. It could also be that the person, the waxer, is just wants to embarrass you. It could be. But if she says something like that, why arguing with her, basically forcing her to go down there? The fact that she says that, it could be true, one, or two, it could be a lie, and she just doesn't want to have anything to do with you, in which case I am not arguing with her. There are some people that I don't argue with. When I go to a restaurant, I don't usually argue with my waitress. If I'm going through the drive-thru, I don't argue with them because they won't run for spitting your food and do all kind of things to your food. So I don't argue with them. The minute I sense like they're having a bad day, it's okay. I'll come back to your establishment another day. Not today. Not today. And Jane, if I go in to get a wax and you say it smells bad, it's okay. Not today. We ain't doing business today. And I go look another one. But also, there might be some element of truth to it. And maybe I've gotten used to my own scent. So that is for me now to say, you know what, maybe I need to go get some medical attention. But you're underneath smelling. You're still arguing with the lady about your underneath smelling. And not only that, you take up your phone and video the entire communication between you and her. And she's saying, hey, I'm not waxing you because your na smells. Come now. I ain't arguing with y'all, people. I'm not arguing with y'all. You don't want to send me no food. You're having an attitude. You don't want to wax my na. Eh? You don't want to do my hair. There's a potential for you messing it up. Bye. I'm in the Uber. You're having an attitude and driving fast. Stop here, so let me out. Stop here, sir, and let me out. He who fights and run away, live to fight another day. Do you hear me? Do you know how much time I'm in a taxi and they're going so fast and I'm saying, please slow down. Lady, this is my taxi. Okay, you know what? Just stop me right here. Stop me. And I get out and get out. I stop and get out. So what could prompt me, for take up my phone and videoing this whole thing with me and the lady saying my na stink and put it on TikTok or on social media? Hell no. Get with it, people.
Has anyone checked on the lady that went to go and get a wax and was told by the wax woman that her vagina was too smelly to wax? Has anyone checked on her? Because I would be dead if that happened to me. I would be dead if that happened to me. As in, on the spot, the ground would need to open up and I would need to fall through, and that would be the end of Jordan. Because, oh my God, check on her. Can her friends and family just report that she's been checked on and that she's okay? Because... And has she gone to the doctors? Also, has anyone checked on the wax lady? The wax lady who spends her whole days waxing vaginas, and other things, but waxing vaginas. Has anyone checked on her to make sure she is okay? Because she had to tell somebody on several occasions that they have an infection. And then now you're being insulted for not going to for having a body that doesn't look like you've gone to the gym or whatever it is that the woman said. Check on, please. I need both parties to be checked upon, please.
You guys seen the video of the girl who went to have a Brazilian and she smelled so bad that the esthetician told her she could not complete the service and she had to leave. There is more to this story. I'm an esthetician. I've been one for 6 years. If you watch the video, you'll notice that the girl gets very aggressive with her when she tells her she has to stop the service. Do you know how much balls it takes to tell someone, I can't do this. You smell bad. I can guarantee you that there were things that happened before this video, and this was like the final straw for that esthetician. Any of my clients, if I were to tell them that, they would be so deathly embarrassed that they would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I imagine myself in that position, what I would do, and I would profusely apologize and walk out of there so embarrassed and probably never come back. But I would never try to argue with the person that I don't smell and that they need to finish my service. No way. Ain't no way. Client's reaction tells me a lot about her.
Who here is attending the funeral of the lady who went to go and get the Brazilian wax, but the wax lady packed up all of her stuff and she refused to do it because she said her coochie smelled? Because if it was me, I would be dead. So who's attending the funeral? Because I would be absolutely mortified. Can you imagine? And when you listen to the video, you know that it's not a first-time offence, because the actual lady, the wax beautician, she says, you're making it really difficult for me because every time it's not a first-time offence. Mortified, absolutely mortified. You would be attending my funeral or you would be seeing me in prison, because if I'm not the person who posted it, but it happened to get onto social media and I can hear my voice as I'm scrolling through my feed, the level of devastation. And I actually think that the woman posted it herself because she thought people were going to rally behind her in her defense. Girl, stop fishing for a viral moment. That was not necessary. You should have just kept that in your phone archive.
I'm actually a CNA as well, and that is not just an odor. That's actually an infection.
Sometimes people are so concerned about having a viral moment that they don't even realize that the only person they're shaming is themselves. No one would have been able to drag that information out of me, because I looked at that video and I suffered first, second, and third hand embarrassment. Imagine you going for a wax and somebody telling you you have a bad, not just you have a bad smell in her, you have an infection, and you post that for everybody to see. So now the whole world knew you have a questionable vagina. Dog really eats some people's shame.
That's an issue.
You couldn't waterboard the information out of me. The way I would have prayed for the ground to swallow me before I even jump on the internet to talk about something like that. Listen, that woman would did you a favor to tell you, darling, your coochie doesn't smell great. That woman looked for all the means to tell you professionally that, babes, your coochie doesn't smell good. But you decided to jump to the internet and expose yourself and tell the world how your coochie smells. Listen, women, how would you tell me that you come from the gym and you go straight without even cleaning up down there? You go straight to get a wax. Somebody even calls you out and tell you, darling, it doesn't smell too good. And you, the first thing you did is jump on the internet to embarrass yourself. Like, people are so interested in getting viral to a point where they forget that they have a reputation. Like the shame. If I was the one, I would nicely get off that table, pick my things in shame, and pipe out of there and tell the lady, thank you. Like, how would you do that to yourself? The embarrassment, the shame, and the first thing you did was bring it to the internet. Instead of doing what everybody would do in that kind of situation, pick your things in shame and get out of that building. That woman handled you with all the professionalism that she had, but you still did not get it. How? And you can't force her. You literally can't force this woman to work on you when she's uncomfortable. Man, like, seriously. She was not being rude. You were being rude. She was actually being a girl for telling you, ma'am, your coochies. She does this for a living. I'm sure she has handled several smells. There's a reason. If she told you, ma'am, if I'm the one, I would actually look into it and see whether truly I have an infection or not. But the reason why she's rejecting you, and I'm sure she must have given you a full refund. So it's not about the money.
So you're telling me that I saw a video of a girl, she was in the middle of her Brazilian wax. Now, if you ever had a Brazilian wax, you're pretty exposed, like everywhere. So she's getting it done. Well, the person who's doing it, the waxer, had to stop midway. I got secondhand embarrassment watching this video. She stopped halfway because she couldn't stand the smell. She is, I think, trying to be nice and be like, hey, like, you have a smell down there that's not like a normal smell. Like, maybe she's alluding that maybe she has like an infection or there's something not normal. This is what she does, right? Like, this is what, so she knows. The girl getting the wax is literally trying to record her saying like, oh, you're a horrible business person. How can you say that? She said that she just worked out. Maybe that's why she smells. And the other girl was like, no. That's not why you smell. You smell because there's something really, really wrong, and refuse to continue on. And now thinking back when I've had them in the past, they don't wear masks. These poor girls. So they're like, and they're all up in there. So the way I got secondhand embarrassment from this video, like, girl, and she thought she would post that, being like, I got you, you're a horrible business person, no one's gonna come to you. Girl, that's the opposite. Like, I would never post that if that ever happened to me. Like, couldn't be me.
Okay, about the girl who videotaped herself in the waxing studio. I actually have a waxer that just moved in down the street from me, and I went to a wax before, and I hate being hairy. So for me, I didn't think waxing was going to be my thing because you have to let it grow, all the things. And then also letting someone else besides my gyno look at my vajayjay is just like a fear of mine, right? But they see them all the time. Nothing's normal. But you always, like, even the gyno or your waxer, you're always thinking, man, is mine like normal? Is it the worst? I don't know. But this girl, to air that video about the waxer saying her vajayjay smelled is insane to me. Like, that is my worst fear. I am one of those people that, like, I'm a germaphobe, and if there is any type of smell going on, you know something's not right. Like, as a woman, you know, like, your pH balance can be off or whatever. There are things to rectify that, but to put it on the internet for everyone to see, yeah, your face is not on the video, but it's on your profile. Like, somebody can find out who you are. That is, like, next level stuff. And maybe I'm, like, super uber conservative with that type of stuff, like my private life, but I wouldn't want to, like, air that at all. And I still don't even air my personal, like, history of anything either. But I can tell you, my biggest fear going into a gynecologist or a waxer is that if my vajayjay isn't, like, normal. And obviously every vajayjay looks different, everybody has a different, you know, thing going on, but personal hygiene and health is huge, and they tell you there's a lot of things down there that you need to be taken care of, and there are things that you can do to help those issues, because I know some girls deal with BV really bad and other girls deal with UTIs really bad. There are things that can help not do those or get those, basically. But personal hygiene is huge, and I feel so bad for people who are in fields like that where they are around it 24/7 and you can't escape it. And I'm a smell girl. If I smell something that is off, I am out of there, because smells, gross. If it looks like gross, I'm okay. Like the pimple popping shows and like the cysts and stuff, I'll watch that. Like, and surgery stuff, that doesn't gross me out. Smell, gross me out. So for that woman to say something, the waxer to say something to the person videoing her, it had to have been bad. Like, I just couldn't. I couldn't post that video. And again, that is my worst fear unlocked, with someone thinking that I smelled. And my parents always said, you never want to be the smelly kid. Growing up, you never want to be the smelly kid. So wear deodorant, wear perfume. I wear perfume going to the gym. I wear perfume going everywhere because I never want to be the smelly person. So Yeah, worst fear unlocked.
As well, and that is not just an odor. That's actually an infection.
Excuse me?
Before I say my piece here, I really want to stress that I'm not trying to be insensitive to anybody who may have issues controlling their own odor because of a health reason. Okay, I'm not trying to put anybody down. I realize there's situations in life where sometimes you just can't smell good for, there's reasons, I'm sure, but none that are coming to mind right now. But anyways, in that video, the nerve of that lady to get a stranger, a professional, but a stranger, to wax her area. She smells really bad and then thinks it's okay because she's trying to say she went to the gym. You went to the gym, even if this was the case, if she really did just go to the gym, you went to the gym smelling all funky and expect this woman to work on your area down there? What? Who raised you? Well, just, ew. I guarantee that woman doesn't get paid enough to deal with that stuff. Like, that's so wrong. I personally think it's extremely rude when you don't take into consideration the people around you in general. And like I said, you had a hard day's work, you're not going to smell your best, whatever. There's a difference between just, you were working, or even if you did just go to the gym and you're just out in public, that's different than having somebody have to go down to your area to do stuff to it. Oh, God, I feel so... That's why I could never do a job like that. Could never do a job like that.
Okay, so to anyone who's seen the video of the waxer who refuses her client because she had a really strong bad odor, I want to know your input. Whether if you're in the beauty industry, you're a waxer, esthetician, cosmetologist, a client, I really want to know. What is your opinion on this? And if you haven't heard this yet, look it up, because I'm going to give you my input on this. So first of all, I am going to start by saying that if you're a cosmetologist, esthetician, anyone in the beauty industry, we cannot diagnose a client. We cannot recommend something on clients or say like, hey, I think you have this. Like, no, we cannot do that. That is out of our scope. That would be a doctor, definitely not an esthetician, waxer, anyone in the beauty industry. But we do get close to clients, and some clients are friends, and also any client in general. There has been times where, like, if we see something out of the normal, we can suggest, the word suggest, a client to go get checked by saying like, oh, listen, I just think this is something that's not normal. I would recommend you go check it out. I'd rather you be safe than sorry, or something like that, okay? So as a waxer, because I am an esthetician, salon owner, but I specialize in Brazilian waxing. This is what I do. So I wax a lot of hoo-has in a month. So this is gonna be my opinion as a full-time waxer. So as a waxer, I will say like odor is normal. You're expecting your client to come in with normal vaginal odor, whether they're coming from the gym, whether a client is coming from their house, from work, from wherever. You're expecting, to have a normal odor down there. That being said, for me personally, I've been a waxer for 5 years, and I have never, ever been put in that situation where I have to refuse a client because of their odor being so strong that I cannot service them. I've had clients come from the gym. I've had clients with their periods. I have clients who have given birth and I've waxed them for years, and their odor has changed because of a hormonal change, and that happens. I've had clients with all different things, and I've never personally experienced something like that. So knock on wood, thank God, because that is an uncomfortable conversation to have. Like, I can't even imagine that conversation. That is that bad. So going back to this video, I feel that the tech was really professional. This is already so extremely uncomfortable for us as a waxer. Like I said, I can't even imagine talking to your client about this. Like, there's times where I've suggested a client go to a doctor for something, but saying that the client smells so bad that you can't service her, that's already an uncomfortable conversation to have with your client as a waxer. So I give props to this waxer for being so professional. Like she said, she mentioned that she is a CNA, so she, told the client like she knows what she's talking about, whereas a esthetician, we can't say like you have an STD, let's say you have this. No, we can suggest go get checked. But she said she's a CNA. She went more into detail with this client, and the client was not having it. Also, in the beginning, the waxer said, I'm continuously telling you that there's an issue. Probably meaning that in the beginning of the service, she even more nicely told this client why she couldn't continue the service, and what she suggested or whatnot. You know what I mean? Where in the video that the client decided to record, she probably was tired of keep repeating herself, which also, I don't get why this client would record this trying to like bash the waxer, and it just went back to her. Like, The waxer was completely nice to her and explaining to her what she thought, and she could not service her. Like, we are 100% entitled to not service someone if it's that bad, or if for any reason, like if someone's rude to us, we can say, you know, as a business owner, we can say, you know, whatever, you're being rude, I cannot wax you for this reason, or I don't want to service you because of this. So yeah, I could not understand why this lady decided to record this instead of it being a private conversation like the waxer was intending it to be. And she put herself out there on social media. Like, why would you put this out there? I just can't understand that. Also, she said that she's been going to European Wax Center. Let me tell you something. European Wax Center and going to independent waxer is not the same at all. We care more about our clients independently because we are a small business where we cater to each client. Meaning, the girls in European Wax Center are trained to, you know, service the client fast. And that's it. They don't get to be so personable with their clients. Nothing, like, I don't have anything bad to say about the girls who work at European. It's more of the European Wax Center's system. It's a fast in and out type, you know, service for them. Where for us, we take time to get to know our clients. So if something is wrong, we feel like we have to tell our clients, suggest what we think, because it's more of a personal experience. Our clients are like our babies, our friends. So I could not understand why she would not be thankful for this. But anyways, I want to know your opinion because it's my opinion, and I think I'm on the waxer side. She was definitely professional. She was nice, sympathetic about it. And this is the little clip that we saw. I'm pretty sure 100% that the conversation before she started recording was even more like sympathetic. She was more nice about it. She was more, you know, understanding as a woman, explaining to the client why she's suggesting these things. So I cannot understand. Like, to me, I'm like surprised how this client just put herself out there like that for the world to see this. But, you know, whatever. Thank God I've never experienced this. And if I ever did, I would definitely do the same thing that this waxer did. Sympathetically, nicely explain to my client why I couldn't service her, suggest going to a doctor, and then coming back and getting waxed after she gets this resolved. And that's it. So tell me your opinion because I want to know.
The honest truth is that there are certain things that you shouldn't ever bring on social media. You were filming the woman thinking that you wanted to let the world know that our services are poor or what. Girl, your coochie stinks. Go get it cleaned. Go take care of yourself. Don't come in here bringing out your phone, acting like a dumb ass. Something is wrong with you right there. Probably you have an infection or whatever. Go take care of it. The next best option is not bringing out your phone and wanting to film and make it look like, oh, our services are so poor or whatnot. So you expect her to die or inhale horrible smell because she's going to get paid? I mean, not everyone is going to do that. So, bitch, please go take care of your health. Go clean yourself from within. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts concerning this conversation right here? Because I feel like that lady, you know, was doing the most, bringing out her phone or whatnot. Put your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.